Hello and welcome. I'm Denis Rasulev, business executive at DigiCode. For those who don't know us, DigiCode is a technology company that helps its customers to make digital transformations. We build custom software, modernize existing solutions, and implement AI agents. Today, we are focusing on AI in procurement. This is where we see some of the biggest opportunities to bring immediate value to companies. And to go and explore this topic, I'm joined by Daniel Kolarik. Daniel, good to have you here.
Thank you, Dennis. Good to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Nice. And could you please give some sense of your background in procurement?
So I'm over 20 years in procurement. I work in different industries, different companies, different structures, and I have built procurement functions from the scratch, optimized existing ones, and managed global supplier networks. These days, I work with or I cooperate with DigiCode as an independent advisor. I help clients evaluate their procurement processes and figure out where technology actually helps and where it's just a noise.
Good. So for our listeners and viewers, I will bring AI and tech perspective, and you, Daniel, will bring procurement reality to this conversation. So let us cut through some buzzwords together.
So let's do it.
Good. The term I keep hearing everywhere is AI agents. But I have a question, Daniel. What are the procurement leaders asking about right now?
Honestly, they are confused. For 2 years, they heard that AI will transform everything. But what did they see? Chatbots, document summarizers, useful but not transformational.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone says agentic, they want to know, is this actually different? Or is it another rebrand?
Yeah, that skepticism is quite healthy. This is the way I would try to explain it. Traditional generative AI is an answering machine. So you ask a question, it generates text. But more modern agentic AI things are actioning machines or doing machines. So it can perceive your environment, reason through the problem, and then act to achieve the goal. This is the shortest explanation I can give right now.
So can you give a concrete example? What does it look like in procurement?
Sure. Let's say when asked, a generative AI can help you prepare and summarize some email to supplier, right? But agentic AI acts differently. It can proactively monitor stocks level. And when it sees that you are running low on a specific critical component, it can go to a list of your approved vendors, suppliers, and then it can check the prices on the market and compare them to your contracted prices. And after that, it can even draft a purchase order for the procurement manager to approve. So agentic AI does not wait for your instructions, it acts proactively.
So the difference is autonomy. It's doing the work, not just helping with the work.
Exactly. And that's why the real value here, it's not in AI per se, but rather in capacities. So let's say agent can do or handle 70% of routine tasks, right? And that means that your procurement team can focus on supplier management, and that's where the human judgment and the human expertise brings much more value today.
I see. Okay, but here what I hear constantly from the procurement directors. We'd love to do it, but our data is a disaster.
Yeah.
Our ERP is, let's say, 15 years old. Half of our contracts are in emails as attachments.
Yeah.
Is that a real barrier or an excuse?
Well, I'd say 5 years ago that was a real barrier. Nowadays, it's more like an excuse. Though I understand why people believe in it. The old model was you could spend a couple of years cleaning up your data, improving your processes, and then you try to implement something to achieve some benefits of automation and using technology, right? Nowadays, the approach is different. Due to the development and advances in AI technology, AI agents can digest structured and unstructured information. So we actually advise to use AI to clean the data, right? And it can use whatever you have at hands, emails, chat logs, or flat files, Excel, Word files, whatever. So AI gets information from this and structures it for itself. And that's how it works.
So you're not asking companies to rip out their infrastructure?
No. Actually, what we advise is to build some value on top of it. This is actually bringing additional value rather than change and replace something, right? And this way you can see the ROI, return on investment, starting very quickly.
Very fast. Yeah, I see. So that changed the conversation. CFOs aren't opposed to AI. They are opposed to risk and long payback periods. Show value in weeks, or let's say weeks instead of years, and the resistance drops.
Yeah. That's actually why we suggest so-called beachhead approach. So do not try to change everything at once. Choose one specific task or process and then prove that it works. And only after that, you can expand to more and more parts or processes or use cases.
So for the beginning, you should start with something.
Correct.
With the small points.
Yes.
What's the good first use case?
Well, from our practices, we see two of them that work well. One is invoice audit, and the second is supplier matching. So invoice audit scans your incoming invoices, check them for errors in prices, overpayments, double payments, and any other things that needs to be controlled. And basically, this use case brings you cash very fast, right? And second, supplier matching, it helps you to work and find the vendors very quickly, saving time for your procurement team. It can compare your internal requirements, legal requirements to your suppliers, compliance requirements, anything, and find you appropriate suppliers very quickly. Moreover, this works very well because you use your internal data. So it's low risk, very easy to start with agents. Okay.
So it helps to improve the sourcing and fasten up it.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I've seen those done manually. It takes months and still missing things.
Correct. But AI agents can do it continuously in real time and probably bring you results within first several months, couple of months.
So much faster.
Much faster, right?
Let me push back here. This is where procurement leaders get nervous, or let's say angry sometimes. We are talking about AI making decisions about spending companies' money, which is crucial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Compliance requirements are more complex than ever. How do you ensure that the AI isn't a liability?
A very good question. It's very right question. And if anyone just misses it or ignores it, they can't be serious. But
Sure.
The answer to this question would be what many call glass box architecture. Comparing to black box, where you don't see how the decisions are made or why they were made, Glass box architecture allows you to see why the agents made the decision this or that way. And moreover, you have an audit trail for the decisions made by AI agents, so you can always control the process.
I see. So you can trace back exactly why it recommended a specific supplier or flagged a specific invoice or any changes you can see.
Absolutely. And moreover, we always recommend our customers to build in so-called human-in-the-loop checkpoints. It means that AI agent can do all the heavy lifting, process vast amount of information, do the research, find this information for you, prepare documents, and even make some preliminary negotiations with the suppliers. But before anything becomes legally binding, there is a human who needs to review and approve documents or processes or requests.
So always in the end, there is a human.
Absolutely. So human are in control all the time.
So that's critical from a government perspective. In procurement, you never delegate signing authority without oversight.
Correct.
The same principle should apply to AI. That's what we are discussing now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is the correct way to structure the whole solution when the procurement professionals make the final judgment call to anything prepared by AI agents.
So that's not limitation. Yeah, I see. And frankly, that's how you get buy-in from procurement teams. Position AI as a replacement, you get resistance.
Correct.
Position it as leverage, something that makes their expertise more valuable, you get adoption.
Yes, that's right. And the best framing I ever heard is that the procurement professionals, they don't disappear, they get promoted from doing some operational transactions to making strategic decisions.
Okay. So they rise and they become more influenceable.
Absolutely.
For the business. So for someone watching who's convinced the direction is right but isn't sure how to start, what's the practical first step then?
I would say it's a very classical one. First, you need to understand where you actually are, right? And then together with our technical experts and procurement experts like you, Daniel, we can make AI readiness assessment. That means that we will have a look at the procurement processes where people losing time doing repetitive tasks, where there are gaps in data or in processes, where the money leaking in the process. Okay, so that would be the very first steps we can do together.
So it's not just an AI audit.
No. Usually what we're trying to achieve is to connect business pain points with the IT reality. And the output of this process is usually a roadmap. So you can see which processes are ready for agentic AI and what could be the potential ROI, return on investment, if you start with those agentic AI.
I see. And so what's the typical timeline then?
I would say optimistically it's a few weeks. Pessimistically it could be several months. But usually it gives enough time for the leadership to understand the benefits, advantages, and not to stuck in analysis paralysis.
I see. I think then the approach changed.
Yeah.
2 years ago, companies could afford to wait and see. Now?
Correct. Well, now if the organization is building this capability, they need to understand that cost of changes or waiting is much, much more than the cost of starting using the AI technology, right? And those companies who will start to do and explore this field right now, they will be in a completely different position by 2027.
So for anyone who wants to start, what they should do?
Well, the answer is very simple. Just reach out. Okay, and we will start with your specific situation. There are no obligations so far. If there is a fit from viewpoint of your processes, data, technology, then we can probably do a pilot project, which will most probably pay for itself. But if there is no fit, then at least you will have a clear roadmap and understanding where you are and how you can continue from
I
here.
see. So, Dennis, thanks for the conversation.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.